So I watched Night of the Hunted on Shudder. It reminded me almost immediately of, I believe the name of the movie was Downrange, also on a Shudder, I believe, exclusive. Basically, where people were in that one, Downrange, people were pinned down by a gunman, I guess like a sniper, and they had to, get to safety. This one was more of, I would call, the kind of similar to Downrange, except it's more in a modern setting because that one was just out on the open highway where they had, I guess, stopped, if I remember correctly. This one, she was in a gas station, and I thought that the way that they set it up and the way that they told the story in this, where basically you didn't know what was going on, and just like her, you kind of felt the main character's plight of, I don't know why this is happening, I don't know what's happening, why it's happening to me, and she's trying to piece it together. And then also, which is, really interesting, you actually have an interaction in this one with the shooter because he, leaves a way to communicate with her. And because of that, you kind of get that interaction where he kind of, at first he's like, he doesn't reveal that he's the shooter. So she thinks she's just talking to someone for help. But then, she's actually talking to the shooter, which, I mean, I'll be honest, almost every kind of surprise that they were kind of doing, I kind of just like was sitting there screaming at the screen going, no, no, that's the killer. There's no way that is not the killer. And of course it was the shooter. So, you know, there was a part in there where they kind of like, they kind of schmixed me up, and I didn't know if, because someone does show up where she's trapped, and I'm sitting there going to myself, that's got to be the killer, but it wasn't. I mean, so they definitely kept me on my toes, and the way that this movie ended, you basically you don't get any resolution to who it is, who the killer is. So, and I mean, at least, you know, she did what she did in the end, which, was good. She kind of redeemed herself, because if you look at the arc of like, in movies, there's that thing of, if you're a bad person, especially in horror movies, usually the rule is, if you're a bad person or doing, bad things according to, you know, like the Bible and religious things, like if you're committing any sins or doing anything bad, like if you're doing drugs or you're drinking or you're having sex, usually you're more likely to die in a horror movie. And she kind of was basically not doing good things in the beginning, but they gave her a chance, and she kind of redeemed herself at the end. And that redemption arc, I mean, isn't that the whole point of the entire Star Wars movies, the redemption of Anakin Skywalker? So yeah, I mean, listen, they took from other kind of movies and things that other movies, do great, and they did it with this. I would definitely say that this was definitely a treat. I enjoyed this one. Glad you guys recommended it. It's even more happy that it was on Shudder, because it's funny. I had just canceled my Shudder subscription, because I was like, I'm really not watching anything on it, and couldn't think of anything to like really look for, because I just in general wasn't watching movies. But I mean, I instead I upgraded to AMC Plus, so I have now Shudder Plus, all the stuff under the AMC umbrella, because I do enjoy a lot of those AMC things. So if I can get my movies there in that format, hey, let's pick from those too, guys. So anyway, thank you for the good recommendation. I definitely enjoyed my time watching the recommendation this week. You guys have a good one. Sorry I haven't been around that long. Just different things get in the way. I get sidetracked and whatnot. But anyway, this is Casual Noob Cybot signing out. Later.